I'm here with former presidential candidate Dr. Jeff Kaluyu, and karibu sana Kenya.
Thank you so much, and thank you for coming to cover me. I've just arrived,
Yes.
and I'm happy to see the Gen Z and the social media crew. You have done a very good job recently for reaching far, and that is why I've called you today, so that we can have a conversation. Yeah.
Amazing. So you will take us through, maybe we get to know more about you, while maybe they're watching for the first time.
Yes, my name is Dr. Jeff Kaluyu, and as Trudy has said, I'm a former presidential candidate, 2017. And those who want to know how we did, how we performed, we were 19 candidates. And we finally had an election, and that election was actually cancelled by Maraga, CJ Maraga. We went for the second time, and my final ranking was number 3 after Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga and Mheshimiwa Kalonzo, they dropped out. So I was an independent candidate and I performed very well. I'm always ready to fight and to fight for the Kenyans. Now I want to be very clear, and today I have a special announcement that I will be running for the President of the Republic of Kenya in 2027. I'll use my skills, I will use my experience. I know I was new in 2017, but now I am better. I'm promising you a spirited campaign because I have a plan for it. And as Mandela said, that if you are a leader who changes positions according to the waves and the wind, you are not worth the salt of being a leader. My 6-point plan in 2017, they remained the same. They only added one item. They were growing the economy, cutting the cost of living, cutting taxes, and cutting the size of the government. I will be the end of corruption. I have no corruption file. When you don't have corruption, you are not so much fun. But this time, we're going to argue, debate, and prosecute the case for the Kenyan people differently. I will have diaspora participate very vividly, because if we say they usually bring exchange more than coffee, tea, and tourism combined, that's your cash cow. And we have to take care of them. They have to be on the table. Now my 7-point plan, my 7th point is very important. As you know, many of you know that I'm a research scientist. I went to medical school, that's where I have my PhD from. And as I said, to face Ruto, you cannot just face Ruto by telling him he's corrupt. You cannot face Ruto by just insulting him. He's a savvy politician. So if we are going to go PhD for PhD, we're going to go for it. Then we'll find a deputy who is worth running with Kindiki. But whatever the case, I was to say I will have a good universal health care, because I participated in Obamacare when I was in medical school. I went there for 5.5 years. We were the ones who built Obamacare. I know how to build it. I also have worked in countries where there is also housing and the levy, how it is done. We are doing it differently. We will redesign it. We will have a conceptual framework, and we will be able to offer Kenyans something that can finally be a choice for housing. It can be done differently. So I come with a good spirit, very spirited, and I want to promise you a spirited campaign for 2027. I want the debates to start right now, because I am ready to move forward, and I will now give you opportunity to ask questions that you may have. Ask the hardest question you have.
So, Mheshimiwa,
Yes.
Maybe coming 2025, are you still going to use the same party that you had 2017?
Actually, that is a very important question. In 2017, I was an independent candidate. Now, just imagine how my performance was as an independent candidate. I had no party. I had to collect just different kind of people, ask them to support me. They supported me, and we ranked number 3. Now, today, I'm a political party leader. My party is Unified Change Party, or UCP, and I will use that vehicle so that we can have many people run for governors, run for MCAs, senators, members of parliament, and women representatives. Trudy, I want you to run for an office, because I want you to be part of the UCP movement. So I will be using the party UCP. I'm the party leader. It is one of well-performing, compliant, and we are looking forward to bring to the parliament a big crew that we can be able to to win the hearts and minds of Kenyans and do the right work. We change the nation, bring a new dawn, a new Kenya.
As Kenyans, of course, a lot has been going on. Kenyans complaining, we want a good president who will understand Kenyans. We want a president who will listen to us. So as for you, maybe if given a chance, what are some of the things that you're going to do to make sure that Kenya is at the safe side of it?
First of all, this is, and your questions make me very excited every time, because on January 13th, 2024, this year that is ending, I had watched Kenyans, listened to the Kenyans. I wanted to know their hopes, dreams, challenges, and their wishes. And after I collected that data, in fact, I realized that the same manifesto that I had 2017 is the same manifesto I'm going to use, because those problems have not been resolved. I actually created and launched a movement called We the People Movement. Actually, that is the clarion call for UCP. Every party has its clarion call, and some of the party people don't know their clarion call. But our UCP clarion call is We the People, and that We the People is a movement by itself. See, that was 6 months before Gen Z came into place. They were asking for the same things, the cost of living, and also we needed public participation. And I declared myself as a direct opposition leader. I'm not here to insult Ruto. You are not going to win against Ruto by insulting him. You are not going to win by calling it big names. So no, not just Ruto. It can be Raila, it could be Uhuru Kenyatta, Gachagua. That is not how you are going to win Kenyans. So we will have many candidates, and I'm looking forward to be able to enroll so that we can be able to influence policy from the parliament and everyone else. So our plan is very clear, unlike many other candidates where they don't have a plan, or they are blaming people from NZ's 60s. We cannot play with that. We want to have a clear candidate who is mature, who is critically thinking and able to lead this nation and face the government, because you can't Dr. Ruto will not take it lying down. Yes.
Amazing. So I think I have some few things here I want you to talk about it, Mheshimiwa. While you are away, our former President Gachagua was impeached.
Yes.
That is one thing that I want you to talk about it, maybe your view on it. And then we also have economy.
Yes.
We have corruption.
Yes.
We have high taxes. Diaspora participation, healthcare, we have housing levy, we have the black cartoon, vitu ni mingi, you have the content creators taxation, role of media in influencing nation agenda, county corruption, we have new young politician and approach, the future of Gen Z efforts, and why no one is paying much attention. AU matters, GBV, cow vaccination already, I had talked about it earlier. AKA and Adani matters, rejection of the president and the way forward. What your agenda already, you've already talked about it.
Yes.
So I want you to at least take us through this nini.
So this is very good questions that you have, and let's start with the Gachagua. One thing for sure is that Gachagua was to be impeached because of the numbers. Whether he was impeached then or now, Dr. Ruto and the government had the numbers. So it is not a matter of whether Gachagua was going to be impeached. It is the process which was used. And that process, people feel scared that tomorrow you can be taken through a process very quickly, and things is not what you expect. So that is what the problem is, and he needed to be given time to explain himself, whether he's sick or not sick, but he needed to be listened. That is the problem with the Gachagua thing. So I don't like the process, the way he was taken through, but I can assure you they had the numbers. They still have the numbers. The question is, what do you do when you have the power and you have the numbers? How do you do the responsibility? That is what people are scared of, as opposed to just Gachagua item. Economy. Our economy rate of growth is 5.68. I mean, the unemployment is about 5.68 right now, which is actually higher relatively than Tanzania and the surrounding countries. So we have very high unemployment. The way to lower the unemployment, to make sure it is as low as possible, is to create jobs. Now, government's job is not to give people jobs. The government job is to give opportunity for those who want to work hard and play by the rules so that they can come up with, there has to be a price for those who work hard. Truly, you work very hard. So you should be rewarded. What about someone who is sleeping and doesn't want to work? Should he be also rewarded? No, that's how capitalism works. So we are saying that in economy, we will create a lot of environment. I have been in the first world. I've worked for JP Morgan Chase. In Wall Street, you don't just walk in Wall Street, they look for you because you have certain abilities. When I was finishing my master's, I was sought for. So I worked in Wall Street where we fixed economies. I don't think anyone else has that ability except me. Let's talk about corruption. I do not have any corruption file. I've never been accused of corruption. I do not have cartels under my armpits who we talk about anything. I've never taken anybody's dime. So we need a candidate who can actually face the country and tell them he will be able to be corrupt free. And I am corrupt free. By the way, my party is not aligned to UDA or Azimio. I'm an independent party, and I know we will be very attractive to many people. Now, the other item that we can talk about is the high taxes. Of course, everybody should be able to pay taxes because that's how we pay the police, that's how we create, we do the schools, that's how we do the roads and everything else. So we want to be able to lower the taxes so that it can increase the work rate, so that people can influx into the work, so that the companies, small businesses can be able to actually borrow and pay taxes less. That will spur the economy. So in terms of taxes, I want you to read my lips. There will be no more new taxes. And the taxes that we have will be reduced. We will spur the economy because I know how. I've worked in Wall Street. My master's is finance and economics. So I understand this from a practical purposes. I'm not just a public figure. I am also a private person who comes from private areas. And you spoke about the social media and the media taxes. We need the young people. If we are looking for jobs for the young people and spur the economy for them, we need to be able to lower taxes so that they can enter the market. Once they are making significant amount of money, then we can begin a bracketing that when you make $1 million, you make $500,000 minus all your expenses, then we can be able to tax you this. But as young people, they have no jobs, we need to lower the tax burden for them. Diaspora has to be in the participation. We said they usually bring foreign exchange more than coffee, tea, and also tourism combined. If it's your cash cow, why are you hurting the cash cow? So they have to be on the table. I will make sure they will be ambassadors for Kenya. By the way, having some roots from diaspora, I went to school in Washington, D.C., I know diaspora know a lot of things. They can bring a lot of economy here. They can bring companies because they work in those companies. So if we do not give them the opportunity, ignore them, we are ignoring ourselves, basically. So diaspora will sit in. Healthcare, I told you, SHIF and SHIA, I'm from medical school. I have helped create Obamacare. I know what it takes. For example, right now, we have cases where you have to be referred. That is the major item for SHIF. You have to be referred from the lower level hospital to a higher hospital. What if they have no ambulances and you are referred to a higher hospital, a higher level of hospital? That means you might go home and then die at home. So we need to put these structures together in such a way they actually work. I feel the design and also conceptual framework was not totally paid attention to. And, I want to ask the media to think about the future. They are part of the future, and they can be able to influence where we go from now. Media can be able to give all presidential candidates fair amount of coverage. I know if I'm given fair amount of coverage and not all about Kalonzo, Ruto, Raila, Uhuru, that's all we talk all about. How come they are just those people? We are here, we are interested, we want to care to change Kenya, we want to make it a new dawn. So I'm asking the media, you are part of the change. Give all of us coverage, like Trudy came to cover us, and she is really ready to, work with us. Now, counties have a lot of corruption. It has become a den of corruption. I watched the Senate. The way the governors could not answer the questions. They have like over 300 accounts. For what? So they have guidelines from Auditor General on how to do accounting. They just don't follow. So what should we do? We want to be able to watch that, and government is allowed to take over a function of account if they cannot be able to do it. So if they cannot do accounting, let the Auditor General do it, or the Treasury, and they can be able to help them. The other thing is the young politicians and the approach. I want to call the Gen Z. Because I was there, and I get frustrated when the politicians, the common politicians, they talk about Gen Z who died, and my heart goes to those who lost their lives fighting for justice. Really, they have done a good job. So I don't want politicians who wanakuja kudandia. They fought, they start saying Gen Z is with us. No, Gen Z was not there, was not with you, because you were there and you didn't do anything. But was I there and didn't do anything? In January, I launched a We the People movement. So I was there and I did something. So I want Gen Z to work with me. I want to work with Gen Z. I will mentor, I will guide them, I will teach them, because I have the experience. And let nobody lie that Gen Z will do it by themselves. They come and work and go to their parents, many of them. And if these parents frustrate them in resources, then they can't do a lot of things. So we have to come together, millennials, we have to come together with Gen Z, and we change this country for better. So Gen Z, Dr. Kaluyu is inviting you. I am humbling myself before you. You come, we work together. And for sure, I'll be 35 years old by 2027. Remember, you cannot run for president if you're not 35 years. That's Katiba, and that's the way it is. So I will be there unless we change Katiba. And I encourage anybody else who is trying to run for president or trying to make Kenya better, we continue, and at some point, I'm asking them, we join hands and we can do this thing together. AU matters. The issue is that some people are against Raila, and for Raila, I have to support the agenda. This is not a matter of supporting Raila or against Raila. What agenda does he have for Africa? Did he have a chance before? Did he use it properly? What did he do when he was minister? He was in charge of infrastructure for AU. And does he seem to understand what it means? And what is it for him if he doesn't get the seat? So I'm listening more. I am looking for the agenda. I want to empower those candidates so that they can tell us what they have. If another candidate that is not Raila will improve Africa better, we will support that candidate. If it is Raila, I'm in with all four. So that is about the AU. One of the things that have come to kind of concern me is like gender-based violence. We need to mentor. Hata sijui these things they call men conference, what they go to do when they beat women. I mean, in other countries, the issue of touching, beating anybody is gone. Imepitwa na wakati. So there needs to be, these guidelines, when you hear somebody threatening you, when you see something, you check on your neighbor, you be your brother's keeper, you be your sister's keeper, so that you can know how to be able to avoid those kind of things. You were just asked about cow vaccinations. Cow vaccinations, yes. So we need research. I think the communications team for the government, sometimes they take an item and they don't have enough time to explain. I don't think they have explained clearly what that will do. And I can see it frustrates the president. I'm telling the president not to get frustrated. He needs to create a communications team. Statement of the problem. Was there a problem before the vaccinations came? What is the problem? And what is the design? How do you reach every cow in Kenya? And how are we going to benefit from this? Clear benefit. And some people have gone far to say that it will reduce the carbon emissions in the air and all those. I don't think that is the whole thing, and we need more information from the president. That is about, I'm a research scientist. I go by evidence. I haven't had enough to convince me why they should be all vaccinated. So I said my agenda is very clear, and it is a 7-point plan, which is lowering the cost of living, growing the economy, provide jobs for the young people, and actually this idea of separating youth to millennials, it is actually not good for us.
Yeah.
These are Kenyans. Some Kenyans who are not Gen Z, they have no jobs and they have families. So are you going to say they don't need a job? It is a business of trying to work in groups, and I don't like that. So I will increase the jobs for Kenyans, not just for Gen Z. I will cut the taxes, and I said I'm very keen on that. I trust money in Kenyans' pocket than in the government. The government is too big. It needs to be cut into size. That money retrieved back to the economy. I've been in GKI. I've gone to the bathrooms. There is quite a bit of places that are actually they have a lot of rust. The bathrooms are broken. And it is sad, and I would say that I've seen some places where there was no toilet paper. So we need to for sure, like, to improve the airport. No question, the infrastructure is going to be falling apart. What I want to ask the president is to make sure that we use local people, we give them jobs, and they hire people from local communities so that we can increase the employment. So the airport, for sure, I can confirm to you, I use this airport so often, it needs upgrading. But it needs to be done by local. Why are we taking kids to school? The engineers and the architectures. So we need to be able to use those, and I am vouching, even these Gen Zs, there's a lot of those people, and they can be able to do a great job. Then that is the employment, and then we are talking of the point number 6 is the diaspora. I have spoken about it. The diaspora needs to participate, and I am with the diaspora. They need to. I am a candidate who understands them. So I'm here. I'm asking you to support me. Soon I'll be giving out the pay bill so that we can be able to put our mouth where the money is. Not saying we support you, you disappear. The campaigns require money, logistics, the petrol and the cars and all those kind of things. So I'm asking for help both in Kenya, from Kenyans and diaspora. Shilingi tano, kumi, I'll put a pay bill. Look out for it. And finally, the SHIA NHIF thing, I will create a universal healthcare with a pure approach from science community, where we will have the statement of the problem, the conceptual framework, the design, and we will be able to give alternatives, and we compare the cost, and then we'll come up with healthcare that covers everybody. And for my record, I have I contributed to Obamacare, which actually works. So those are things I wanted when I was away. I have been asked, and she has covered quite a bit of those. And I'm looking forward to be your candidate. And if you are looking for someone who doesn't do those things, or who is just running around or pay people to be in the crowds, I'm not your candidate. But if you want a better Kenya, you want to change Kenya, a new dawn, a new Kenya where we will have our kids who are the future, and you want to walk with me,
You are the right person.
I am the right candidate for you. So may God bless you. May God bless this Kenya, the right Republic of Kenya. Yeah.
Amen. Mheshimiwa, lastly, you are here in Kenya. Maybe are you working on something? Umekuja tu kusherehekea Christmas?
The last time I was in Kenya, actually I was in Kenya 3 months ago, actually 2.5 months ago, because in July, I came in July, and I spent 5 weeks working on the logistics. I'm the kind of person who researches what are the hopes and dreams of Kenyans. If I'm interested in presidency of the Republic of Kenya, you are not the kind of person you're going to tell people, I want to be president. From now on, I'll be running for president. Who told you we want you to be the president? You have to research. You have to ask people. You have to collect data. So in July, I collected the data. My dad was also sick. He passed on after I flew out within 2 weeks. And I came back in September to bury him. And then I've come back now specifically for these issues and to announce that I will be a candidate. And number 2, collect more data so that I can clean up my manifesto, so that I can make it better. And the youth, do not worry. I got your back. And I mean it. And you can look me in the eyes and you know who is lying, who is just trying to ask for kuras. No, I have the education. I don't necessarily have to have this kind of job, but I'm doing it, laying my name on the ground, and it is a risky job. So there are dangers and risks that go along, but I'm not worried about it. So if anything happens and I'm doing this for the Kenyan people, I'm doing what I love. So I'm coming to make sure that I strengthen my manifesto, launch my campaign for 2027 as the president, and I know I will be ready to win. I want the debates to start now. I'm sure you have felt my fire, and I'm ready to run anyone else round in circles. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. I'm wishing you Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year with great benefits and mafanikio. So thank you so much, Trudy.
Karibu.
Can I call you my daughter from now on?
Yes, I'm your daughter.
I have an adopted daughter here. May God bless you.
Amen.
Maintain Hivo.
Hivo.
There you go. God bless.
Amen. Uni Gen Z.
Yes, mimi ni Gen Z.
All right, thank you so much. Nayo. Tunaanguka nayo.
Tunaanguka nayo.
Unajua kuanguka?
Yes.
Anguka.